And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Up first, we've got a blizzard warning out here for the western Arctic coast from Point Lay down to the Point Hope Cape Lisburn area. That's out through Sunday. Winds gusting to 50 miles an hour out of the east-northeast will create blowing snow, reducing visibilities to a quarter mile or less in that area. And then a winter weather advisory here between, I'll say, Wainwright to Point Lay for winds gusting to 40 miles an hour with visibilities possibly down to a half mile at times, again in blowing snow. Moving on to satellite imagery here. Storm system southwest of the Queen Charlotte Islands, the low center, pushing a band of rain right up into the southeast coast there with moderate rain last hour at Cake and anywhere from a quarter to a third of an inch falling with winds gusting to 40 miles an hour in the normally windier areas there along the coastline. And another weak low here just south of Kodiak Island, kind of drifting northward there. Areas of light rain for the North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, and into Turnagain Arm, but mostly dry over the Kenai Peninsula, some clearing up here to the north, and then a lot of clouds back up to the northwest there from the western central Arctic coast areas, sending all the way down into the Aleutians here with some heavier clouds there just east of the Pribilof Islands. Not too bad for the Aleutians. And then a low pressure area out over the western southwest Bering Sea, roughly in about this location for tonight, that low center. So not moving a whole lot there. That'll keep scattered showers for the Aleutians, but winds on the light side, pretty light winds right up into the southeast Bering Sea there, all the way up to St. Lawrence Island, with most of the snow staying southwest of the Bering Strait there. Areas of snow, and again, blowing snow up here for the western Arctic coast. Some light snow possibly down into Kotzebue Sound and the northern Seward Peninsula tonight, into the Kobuk Valley, western Brooks Range. But the central and eastern Arctic coast, as well as much of the central interior here, Yukon Flats, looking pretty dry with light winds tonight, variable cloudiness, maybe drying out some here for the North Gulf Coast tonight as this system pushes northeastward with a low staying off the coast there, and a weak low here over the Alaska Peninsula. So look for periods of light rain, cloudy skies, Kodiak Island, kind of a mixed precipitation pattern here for Bristol Bay and into the Alaska Peninsula. But could be a dry night for the most part, at least in part, for the eastern Aleutians, but definitely winds will be on the light side. And then for tomorrow, this low kind of backs to the west a little bit here, and that keeps a chance of some moisture, mostly up toward Prince William Sound, southern Kenai Peninsula, and not too bad for Kodiak Island, chance of showers there from about Chiniak, Marmot Bay, and then into Fognak Island, dry elsewhere. And still looking at rain, southwest flow here into the Panhandle. Looks like the heaviest precipitation over the southern areas there with another trough for the first day of the weekend. And then out here over the Bering Sea, not much gradient out here, so looking for fairly light winds with scattered rain and snow showers on the Pribilof Islands, probably staying dry possibly for the Alaska Peninsula. All the shower activity will be quite light. Excuse me. Areas of light snow here, central eastern Brooks Range into the North Slope. Windy conditions, blizzard warning continues again for the area from Point Lay to Point Hope up there. But no additional snow really expected, just blowing snow, whatever already on the ground. Isolated snow showers here for the southwest interior. Dry, light winds, central interior, maybe some clearing tomorrow for the areas here in the central part of the state. And then you can see a warm front down here just coming onto the chart there, and that's associated with a low that's off the chart, but that takes off to the east-northeast, follows the main jet in, and which is well to the south here of the forecast area. So that's going to keep the southeast coast in kind of a unsettled showery condition there, especially with this weak trough along the area right up into the North Gulf Coast. Again, same pattern into Prince William Sound, eastern Kenai Peninsula. Showers or light rain likely for Kodiak Island, and dry over the western interior with possible clearing there from the western North Slope all the way down into the Yukon-Kuskokwim Valley areas. And most of this light snow should stay along the coast or to the west in towards St. Matthew Island there. Probably dry for St. Lawrence Island. And again, winds not too strong anywhere across the forecast area here on the map. weak low there in the central Bering Sea, and about all it's going to produce is some rain and snow showers here over that area in toward the Aleutians. Isolated shower activity possible for the Alaska Peninsula and the eastern Aleutians. Now going to the first day of the week, next week on Monday, mostly cloudy, variably cloudy with isolated snow showers here. Central eastern interior areas dry to the west, all the way up to the north slope and the Arctic coast. Light winds out over the Bering Sea. No big storms at all here for the next 3 days. Forecast just a weak low here just north of Amchitka Island there. And again, that just produces some light shower activity along the Aleutian chain, really scattering out, or if just a slight risk of a shower for the Alaska Peninsula. And still no change here. Trough right along the North Gulf Coast and the Panhandle keeps it cloudy and occasionally damp across the whole area. Maybe a little bit more into Cook Inlet and the Kenai Peninsula, but definitely staying south of the Madanuska-Susitna Valley. And moving on to temperatures tonight, lows mid to upper 30s to lower 40s for the southeast coast. 5 to 10, the Copper River Basin, in the 20s for south central Alaska, closer to freezing down toward Homer, Seldovia, mid-30s Kodiak Island, 30 to 35 for Bristol Bay. And then the highs tomorrow afternoon, mid to upper 30s to near 40 for much of south central Alaska, mid-20s the Copper River Basin, 35 to 40 Bristol Bay, near 40 for Kodiak, and in the 40s for the southeast coast. Highs on Sunday morning looking something like this. Again, not much change, upper 30s to lower 40s, and right around 10 in the Copper River Basin, 20 south central Alaska, lower 30s Kodiak Island, Bristol Bay, upper 20s to near 30. And then the highs for Sunday afternoon, mid-30s here for south central Alaska, but lower 40s, Seward, down toward Homer and Seldovia, Kodiak Island, and mid-30s for the Bristol Bay area, mid-20s there in the Copper River Basin. And for the southeast coast, highs again in the 40s. Up to the north, lows below zero here from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast. Central interior, anywhere from 5 below to 10 above. And then for the highs, Saturday afternoon, mostly a little below zero, again from the North Slope Arctic coast areas, anywhere from 5 to 10 below there, and 5 to 10 above right in the Brooks Range, and mostly in the teens to the south. And then for the highs, or for the lows Sunday morning, 5 to 15 below North Slope Arctic coast, and anywhere from 5 below to 10 above there for the central interior areas, followed by highs, call it 10 there for Savunga, and in the teens here for much of the Seward Peninsula, lower 20s there in the Norton Sound side of the peninsula, 22 for Nome, lower 20s, easier way to say it, and 5 to 15 in the interior. And to the southwest, we've got lows tonight in the upper 20s and 30s, with highs tomorrow mostly in the 30s across all the Aleutians and up to the Pribilofs, and right around 20 though for the southwest coast, and then mid-teens for the southwest coast Sunday morning, upper 20s for the Pribilofs, lower 30s, Alaska Peninsula and the Aleutians, and the high Sunday afternoon, 30s for the Aleutians, near freezing for the Pribilofs, and lower 20s there for the southwest coast.